What makes an anime good? I think I can show you with Appare Ranman. Appare Ranman is fresh, and despite that intro, so far it's not even really about the racing. So far, it's just been teasing the race, establishing character relationships, and building the world. It was originally supposed to air in spring, but it got cancelled 3 episodes in because of the virus. But it's finally back to coming out every week, and the wait for what I expect to be one of my new favorite anime is finally over. It's got colorful characters, great art and animation, racing, and every second of the story is interesting to watch. Seriously, there's barely been a single uninteresting second in any episode so far. It captures everything I love about anime and puts it into a consistently quirky and quality show. And since Appare Ranman does all these things so well, I'm gonna talk about said things and how they're important to creating a great anime. First of which being the characters, as I think they play the biggest role in the show's entertainment value and your immersion. Each character differs quite a bit, but they're overflowing with personality both visually and through the dialogue, which make them stick out even more in the already colorful 19th century world.
お前を雇え。
そうだ。
うちは小さい店だ。人手は足りてる。
それはちょうどいい。俺は仕事がしたいわけじゃないから、暇なのは大歓迎だ。給料だけ払ってくれれば問題ない。
The main cast is such a fun group of characters coming from all walks of life. A pretty straight-laced Japanese swordsman who's completely out of place, the genius prodigy who just does not give a fuck, a knowledgeable native who's on a revenge quest. With such strong personalities, it leads to a lot of great moments that are just a pleasure to watch. Kosame is an honest working man with a good heart, and he's actually a pretty good fighter. Appare normally doesn't give a fuck about anything except the ideas he gets and whatever he feels like making or doing. He's extremely bold and passionate about learning and creating, so it leads to him kind of just taking whatever and going wherever he pleases, including places that are off limits to him. It also ends up in him meeting a lot of the other side characters, as he doesn't really give a shit about social norms. He's just such a unique and entertaining personality to watch. Even if the race wasn't going to start this season, I'd still love watching the show just because of how fun it is to watch these guys fuck around and seeing the weird situations they get in. I also think there's a lot to take away from the more serious sides of the characters, specifically Appare. He has the mindset of, anything can happen if you make it happen. Nobody gets to decide what you're gonna do with your life but yourself. And I haven't even gotten to the side characters yet. The characters are just such a huge part of why I love this anime so much. The personalities of each character are so distinct, and overall they're just so good and do such a perfect job of creating a world and story that immerses you fully. Now I could go on and on about this shit, but I'm sure you get the point now. The characters are really good and they're important. So that's enough about the characters. I should probably explain the story a little bit. Season 1 so far has been the very start of the journey. The 2 main characters set sail to the 1900s USA by accident and eventually end up finding about the Trans-America Wild Race. A race across the USA with a prize of $1 million. And with the main character Appare being the way he is, he immediately has his heart set on building a car and winning it. As of making this video, there's only 5 episodes out so far, and it's just been them prepping for the race, making a car, as well as meeting the other characters. Even though we haven't gone to the actual big race yet, just watching these quirky and weird characters interact with such a flushed out and lively world is so entertaining. Whether they're making a bet with the owner of B&W, trying to make money for food, snooping at cars in places they shouldn't be, or just getting parts for their car. Everything they do is fun and engaging to watch. And thankfully with the end of episode 5, it looks like episode 6 is going to be starting with a big race. They also tease that you can probably expect a few big twists and turns to the race with some conspiracy type shit going on. This story does its job well and plays an important part in immersion, as without being curious or interested in the future of the show, you can't really get immersed well. There's not much more to say about the story, so I'm going to go a bit more into detail on the art. The backgrounds are amazingly well done. They all look hand painted and are so detailed, which leads to you being immediately immersed. The art paints the 19th century USA themed world perfectly. There's always so much color and detail in the background, and in the cities there's so much going on, it makes the world feel super vibrant and lived in. The background characters Cars and buildings all radiate the 1900s aesthetic. Main characters are super well done too, from the details in the eyes to the outfits. It's all just so well done. It's all just so colorful and creative. They're animated super smooth with a lot of attention to detail, and not just detail as in looking really good, but as in every ounce of movement expresses a character's personalities. It may not seem like a big deal, but the attention to detail in the character animation also plays a huge part in helping immerse you. The character design in Appare Ranman is S tier, and the character's art is executed super well consistently. Combined with the background art, it makes the show visually beautiful. Everything's so damn pretty, it's literally just fun to look at. There is some CG for the cars mainly, which is to be expected, but it doesn't really look bad. At all, actually. And to go with the creative characters, each of the main racers' cars are super creative and full to the brim with detail and personality. They're colorful, each designed completely differently, and you can tell a lot about the driver just from the aesthetics of the vehicle. Now, I've mentioned immersion quite a bit, and that's because it's one of the most important things I think an anime needs to do in order to be considered good. Without immersion, the show can't make you feel anything from the story. It can't keep you interested in what happens to the characters, and it can't keep you entertained. Good anime creates a believable and lively world that you can completely immerse yourself in, with characters that feel like they could be real people, settings that feel like they could be real places, and with stories that make you feel something, that let you temporarily escape to a new creative world and forget your worries. All of these things are required to immerse you. Appare Ranman has all of these things. Wacky and lively characters, a colorful and beautiful world, an interesting story and dialogue, and it oozes creativity from all of these things. Because of that, getting to tune in and immerse myself into this anime's world and story for 20 minutes each week is an absolute pleasure. Anyways, that's it for today. As always, thank you all so much for watching. It means the fucking world to me. And once again, special thanks to all the Patreons: Takumi, Baron, Waker, Juicy, Clay, Spooky Snake, and Kent. I can't thank you enough for your support, and I'll see you all next week.